Alright guys, welcome back. You know what time it is. We are looking at the potential cards that could come in the next pack. We will probably have the first leaks come Monday, but we obviously take a look right now. So we are on the Infinite Forbidden. The Infinite Forbidden should be finished by now. We will quickly check. We can see the Millennium archetype that we have received here, as well as the Gimmick Puppet. We have this. We have all of the White Forward stuff. Fiendsmith is now here. There's definitely missing the support cards here for Memento as well as Centurion, which is, in my opinion, one of the most likely things to come in the next pack. I think if we get the Memento and the Centurion support cards, maybe both, maybe only one of them, I think we will get all of them, but we will see this in a moment in Rage of the Abyss, the next set basically. And then we can scroll down even further and see that we basically have all the important cards right here. Maybe there's one missing here or there, but we basically are finished with Infinite Forbidden and can now move on to the next set, minus the TCG exclusive archetypes, which in this case would be Mimighoul. We also still have to get the Aerial Eater and Zapper Shrimp, which are nice supports for White Forest first, and then the Fiendsmith Engine second here. And then we have the Mimighoul, which is actually kind of a fun archetype, one of the better TCG exclusives. Also an archetype that could happen in the next pack, but for these TCG exclusive archetypes, it's always hard to predict when they are coming. They are basically coming pretty random, in my opinion, so it's always tough to predict anything when it comes to these. Other than that, we have everything here, so now we are basically on to the Rage of the Abyss, which is the next core set, which we have some cards already. The biggest archetypes here would be the new Shark, or the new Shark cards, basically new Shark support. You can see Heart of the Brewers, for example, we already have. Then there is new Battle Wasp support, which definitely fell through totally. You can see new Goblin Biker support, and then there's this new archetype called Primite, which is definitely not super impactful, but will be combinable later on with the new Blue Eyes cards to form Blue Eyes Primite, which is a very nice deck. The engine isn't bad. It has a very strong recursion spell card that we will see in a moment. I think it's also from Rage of the Abyss. Then we can see Lacrima, the card that everybody was waiting for Fiendsmith. And Decade hinted at the fact that we might receive this pretty soon, meaning probably in the next pack, honestly. And now we have the remaining support cards for also Memento as well as Centurion. There's another Centurion support card coming in this pack here. We'll see this in a second. I think, once again, if we see the supports for these archetypes, we will see all of them. I would definitely be betting on Memento coming in the next pack, since it has been a while since the first wave has been released basically, so I'm pretty sure that this will come. And then the next big thing here is the support for the Atlantean Mermail archetype, which will be a very annoying combo deck in Master Duel, but we don't have the Toad, which they can make twice on their opening board, so we will have to see how good that even is. Definitely an archetype that we could see in the next pack. I am assuming we will get one new archetype and then a few support cards like the Memento, the Centurion stuff, and maybe the Mimighoul stuff. I think this is what the next pack will consist of. Normally the pack after the birthday pack is not that impactful. Hopefully we will get Lacrima. This would be quite nice for the Fiendsmith Engine, but other than that, expect the next pack to be a bit more down to earth, I would say. There are some new Six Samurai cards here also. Could also be the case that we are getting them. But as already said, this set didn't contain that many banger cards. We have Fuvolos, this one we have already in the game. And then we have the Asamina cards, which we already have received. Probably the best cards out of this set we already received. That's for sure. Also Chaos. We got this one here. You can find this in the Exodia deck with Super Polymerization. The Battle Wasp support, hopefully not getting that. And then we have Centurion Primera Primus, which is a very strong new support card for Centurion. I think, as already said, if we get the Centurion support cards, we will also get this card. I think they will come in one wave. And then you can see a new water support here, Poseidon, for example. This is definitely one of the next archetypes to come. The Atlantean Mermail one. Would not be too excited for this because the play pattern of the deck is pretty toxic, unfortunately. Also Mermail King and Neptibus, which basically protects all the water monsters he points to from being targeted. Very strong. And then if we scroll down even further, there's some support here and there. The new Asamina cards, we already have them. Goblin Biker Grand Breakout. And here are the Primite spells, which Primite Drill Beam is definitely a crazy one. Says reveal one Primite card or one normal monster in your hand, which is pretty easy to do. And then you can target one face-up card on the field. You negate its effects and you do banish it if you negate the effect. This is a quick play spell that Instead, during the main phase, if you control a Primate monster, you can set this card from your grave. But this one is not leaving the field when it gets used once again, like it basically is always the case. It stays on the field, so it's an eternal grind game engine that also banishes cards, not even only negates them, which is very strong, and how you play the blue eyes together with the Primate cards to form a control deck, basically. A new Sengen card, so a new card for Tenpai that has never seen any play, so don't you worry, this will not bring Tenpai back. And yeah, so as I already said, most of the more important archetypes here are the water-based archetypes. And then we have the Primate one that we will, I guess, not see in the next one. I think the water will come first, honestly, and then some support cards for Goblin Bikers, Memento, and for Centurion. Don't really see the Goblin Biker support cards coming right now, since it has not been that long since we have received the first wave. I would assume Memento and Centurion will get theirs first, but not quite sure. And then we have a very interesting card here, Indominus Impulse. If your opponent controls a card, you can activate this card from your hand. When a card or effect is activated that includes an effect that special summons a monster or monsters, negate that effect. Then, if you have a trap card in your graveyard, you can also destroy that card. But if you activated this card from your hand, you cannot activate the effects of light, earth, and wind monsters for the rest of this duel. So Dominus Impulse definitely will become kind of a staple card, especially in decks that do not play these archetypes here. Very, very strong, since you can also play this from the hand, even if you have cards set on your field, unlike Infinite Impermanence. And yeah, the Dominus Impulse, definitely a strong card that if it comes out within the next few sets, you want 3 of them, and they will definitely find their way into decks throughout the upcoming metas. And yeah, that is basically it, at least the interesting things for Rage of the Abyss, which is definitely not that interesting. There's the Mimighoul, rest of the Mimighoul support wave. I think Mimighoul we will probably also get in one go. Basically, they received the Fire King Courtier Volcanics here. And yeah, this is Rage of the Abyss, the next core set we are on. Hopefully we can go through this quite fast, since it's not that interesting. Afterwards, though, we will get Crossover Breakers, which is very interesting, since we will get the Ryziel stuff here, as well as the Malice stuff, 2 of the most dominant archetypes to ever been releasing in one of these deck builder packs, basically. So Malice dominating the OCG right now, as well as Ryziel, same thing in the TCG. These 2 archetypes, Ryziel as well as Malice, will define the meta when they are coming to the game. Potentially at that point, we will also have seen some hits on the older decks, Snake Eyes, Jubel, and then these 2 decks will be the new dominant forces in the metagame, with one being very combo heavy. This one would be Malice, and the other one more of a grind gamey-ish deck, this one being a Ryziel. But this will be very interesting. Then again, I think this is still a way off. We first have to get through Rage of the Abyss, and we won't get Crossover Breakers before. If we would have gotten the cards like Ryziel or Malice, I think this would have happened at the anniversary pack. This would have been something special, but now I guess we will have to go through Rage of the Abyss first. It is what it is, so I'm calling the support wave for Memento for sure, as well as Centurion possibly, and then I would assume that we will get the Atlantean Mermaid stuff, but we could also maybe get the Primate stuff. We'll have to see. I don't really expect the Mimighoul cards, but they obviously could come, but this is what we should expect next. A bit calmer, we have the new very strong meta decks. They will stay the strongest meta decks for a while, until they are getting hit and we are getting new cards on Crossover Breakers. This is when the next big meta change will happen, but until then it is some time, so enjoy the meta for the while. Let me know in the comments what you think will happen in the next pack. What are you hoping for? What of these archetypes are you very hyped for? Let me know. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing, hitting a thumbs up and the notification bell, and we will see each other in the next one.